Ray in 2.36 seconds. Chris, that was at the speed of light. Good man. Want to play for £1 million? I certainly do, Chris. Certainly will. Calm down, Christopher, for goodness sake. Next up is Chris Ray, a company director from North Yorkshire. His firm makes personalised promotional items like name badges, mugs and pens. Although he is the company director, it's pretty much of a one-man business, so he's also the salesman, the manufacturing foreman and the tea boy. The company Christmas party must be a bit of a lonely affair. Chris isn't alone this evening, though. He's brought along a good friend for support and TLC. She's called Carolyn. And despite living in North Wales, manages to see Chris regularly. With a big win, Chris says he'd love to tour around Canada and do voluntary work in South America. So welcome to the show. Fingers crossed. Very much. We'll chat in a while. 15 questions, 3 brand new lifelines, £1 million. Chris, lots of luck. Let's play. Who wants to be a millionaire? Question number 1 for £100 is this. If someone wins every event in a contest, they are said to sweep what? The board, the chimney, the driveway, the carpet.
That'd be the board.
That'd be the board. You got £100. Question number 2 for 200. If something is unambiguous and easily understood, it's said to be crystal what? Fair, clear, bright, plain.
It would be crystal clear.
You have £200. Question number 3 is for 300 quid. Sharon Osbourne and Louis Walsh are judges on which TV show? Strictly Come Dancing, Fame Academy, MasterChef, The X Factor.
They're on the X Factor.
They are. You got 300 quid. You're 2 away from 1,000. This is for £500. Question number 4. When the House of Commons is sitting, what is on the table in front of the Speaker? Cinnamon, mace, nutmeg, marjoram.
Mace.
You have £500. Symbol of royal authority in the House. Right, Chris, last point you could go home with nothing. I'm sure it won't happen. You haven't breathed on even a hint of a lifeline yet. Question number 5 will guarantee you £1,000 at least. Here it comes. Which of these dogs has a curly coat? Dalmatian, Poodle, Boxer, Doberman.
A poodle.
A poodle is the right answer. Well done, Chris Ray. You got £1,000. Well, now, it's a strange life. You're basically a Yorkshireman, North Yorkshire.
I'm very proud to be from North Yorkshire.
Absolutely. But you now work in Oxfordshire.
Yes, I do.
But you travel all over the country.
Yes.
And Caroline, who lives in North Wales, comes to see you as often as she can.
And we meet in the middle or wherever. Whenever we can.
Wherever we can. OK. And you're an absolute... See, this must be difficult. From an Oxfordshire base, you're an absolutely fanatical Middlesbrough FC fan.
I am, yes. Again, very proud to come from that part of the country and proud to follow my local team through thick and thin. OK, well, now, you got £1,000. What have you sort of set your heart on? You need 32. Some petrol money, really, don't you? 32 is a wonderful milestone, and I'd love to be in the position to guess on the 64.
OK. Well, you're only 5, 6 away, and you have no lifelines used up yet, so let's see what happens. Question number 6 is for £2,000. Who would be trained at a staff college? Actors, doctors, military officers, priests.
I'm pretty sure it's military officers. I'll play military officers.
Final answer.
Final answer.
Christopher, you've just won £2,000. Did your mum always call you Christopher when you're in trouble?
Only when I'm in trouble.
Yeah, and mine. Still does. You had £2,000. Question number 7 is for 4,000. You've got a 50-50 phone a friend and audience so far untapped. Recap is normally used as a shortened form of which word? Recapture, recapitulate, recapitalise, recaption.
It's recapitulate.
Are you sure?
I'm not even sure of my own name.
Chris Ray.
Thank you, it's recapitulate.
Final answer.
Final answer.
Think you're right?
I think I'm right.
You are right. You got £4,000. You're getting under a certain amount of pressure here, Chris.
Yes.
You like this when you're running your own company?
It is, yes.
Is it?
But it's not as much fun as this.
Okay. Let's have even more fun then. Let's play for £8,000, doubling your money. But just be aware you would lose £3,000 here if you gave me a wrong answer. This is question number 8. The New Zealand rugby player Jonah Lomu joined which club in 2005? Cardiff Blues, Ospreys, Llanelli Scarlets, Munster.
I have no idea.
I thought you might know, being a football fan.
Can I phone a friend?
Of course you can. Now, who'd know?
Hugh.
Hugh? Who's he? Where's he?
Hugh is a Welshman and he knows a lot about rugby.
That'd be handy. That should be good. Okay, we'll try Hugh.
Hello?
Hugh?
Yes?
Hiya, Chris Tarrant, good evening.
Hello, Chris, how are you?
I'm very well, and thank you for caring, Hugh. Now, you know why we're doing this?
I've got an idea.
What's your idea, then?
I think you might have Chris with you.
Funnily enough, I have. It's Chris Ray. He's doing all right, actually, on Millionaire. He's on £4,000. First lifeline is needed, phone a friend. It's worth £8,000 to him, and he's sure you'll know. He said.
Okay.
He sort of said. Okay, next question will be Chris's. 30 seconds to tell you the question. There are still 4 possible answers. One's worth £8,000. Chris, lots of luck. Your time starts now.
Hugh.
Hello.
The New Zealand rugby player Jonah Lomu joined which club in 2005? Cardiff Blues, Ospreys, Llanelli Scarlets or Munster?
It's the Cardiff Blues, definitely.
Thanks very much, Hugh.
No problem, good luck.
Cheers.
Bye.
Bye, Hugh. He sounded very positive, didn't he?
He is very positive. I'll play Cardiff Blues,
Even though you haven't a clue.
even though I didn't have a clue.
Final answer.
Final answer.
Good phone a friend. You got £8,000. So, Chris, you got £8,000. Question number 9 is for 16,000. What would you do with some money?
I said I'd love to drive across Canada, spending as long as I wanted to. So having some money in the bank account to draw down slowly until it ran out.
All right. Question number 9 is for 16,000. Who created schoolboy hero Jennings? Enid Blyton, Anthony Buckridge, Richmal Crompton, Captain W.E. Johns.
I know Captain W.E. Johns wrote the Biggle stories, and I'm certain it's not Enid Blyton. So that leaves Buckridge or Crompton. I'm fairly certain that Richmal Crompton wrote the Just William stories, which would make it Anthony Buckridge. So because I don't think it's the other 3, I will play Buckridge.
Final answer.
Final answer.
Saving your lifelines for later.
Hoping there is a later.
If you're wrong, there'll be no later. Chris, you had £8,000. You've just won £16,000. very good, actually, the way you deduced that and got rid of the other ones, whatever. Absolutely right, £16,000. Now, question number 10 would guarantee you £32,000, but it's a big old drop here. If you did go for it and give me a wrong answer, you plunge 15,000. Okay. So you said what you would love to do tonight is to get to 32,000 and be in that wonderful situation where you could guess at 64,000. So this question would make that possible, if you know the answer. Here it comes, you have 2 lifelines. Which of these actors starred in the 1933 film Flying Down to Rio? Mickey Rooney, Jack Buchanan, Fred Astaire, Nelson Eddy.
It is so wonderful when you know the answer. Fred Astaire was in Flying Down to Rio.
Are you sure?
Yes, I am absolutely certain that Fred Astaire and Ginger Rogers were in Flying Down to Rio.
Have you seen it?
I'm a film buff. Yes, I have seen it.
Aha. Final answer.
Final answer.
It's so nice when you can write somebody out a cheque for £32,000. Especially when they've still got 2 lifelines left. Have a look. That's what you've done.
You can keep that.
That's very kind, thank you. What a nice man. I'll put it there. We'll look after it for you. You got that. Whatever happens, Chris, you go home with that amount of money. Well, you said at the top, you said at the very beginning, if I could get to 32,000 and have a guess at 64, that would be absolutely more than I dared dream.
Absolutely.
You're in that situation. Not only that, it's better than that because you've got 2 lifelines untouched. You are now, watch my lips, you are now 5 away from £1 million. Okay. You have 2 lifelines. Question number 11 is for £64,000. Here it comes. Who lives at the former home of photographer Cecil Beaton in Wiltshire? Elton John, David Bowie, Madonna, Cliff Richard. Now you're in that lovely position where you can guess, but you've got 2 lifelines as well. You've got 32,000 guaranteed.
I think it's time to use a lifeline.
Okay.
Can we ask the audience?
We can. They might know. We'll see what happens. Okay, audience, this is the question. It's worth £64,000. Have a good look at this one. This is the question. Who lives at the former home of photographer Cecil Beaton in Wiltshire? Now, A, on your keypads is Elton John. B, David Bowie. C, Madonna. D, Cliff Richard. All vote now. %say Madonna, 16 Elton, 13 David Bowie, 26 say Sir Cliff. It's not massive, but it's quite high. It's your call. You can't lose on this one, your money's guaranteed. You don't look sure.
I'm not at all sure. The only thing I was thinking was I didn't think it was Madonna.
Ah, might not be, they might all be mad.
I don't think they're all mad.
45% might be mad.
They could be. I'm going to trust them. I'm going to play Madonna.
Final answer.
Final answer.
How do you feel? Confident?
45% confident.
You said Madonna against all your initial instincts.
Yes.
It was the right answer. You got £64,000. You look battered.
I feel a little battered, yes.
Have a look. That's what you got.
I'm not going to touch it.
OK, I'll put it there. You've still got a 50-50. You are now 4 away from £1 million. Have a look at question number 12. You couldn't lose on the last one. You could lose on this one. You could drop 32,000 here. Question number 12, though, is worth £125,000. You have got that one remaining 50-50. You're 4 away from £1 million, Chris Ray. Here it comes. In English folklore, what was the profession of Wayland? Blacksmith, robber, monk, physician.
I've got a I've got a very, very slight hunch that it might be blacksmith. But I'm going to use the 50-50 to
Okay.
feel better about it.
Okay. And if blacksmith is still there, might you play?
If blacksmith is still there, I'll play.
Promise?
Promise.
Okay, computer, take away 2 random wrong answers. Leave Chris the right answer and the 1 remaining wrong answer. Listen, that's not binding. You do not have to play. Blacksmith or physician, you do not have to play this question. I know you said you wouldn't, you promised, but you do not have to. It's a lot of money if you're wrong. You lose 32 grand. It's worth £125,000.
I had a feeling it was blacksmith. I don't think it's physician. 125 is a massive sum of money, but 32 is wonderful as well. So I'm going to play. I'm going to play blacksmith.
You're mad, you are. Is that your final answer?
Blacksmith is my final answer.
How do you feel at this moment?
Very interested to find out what the answer is.
Because once it's gone to orange, there's no going back.
There's no going back.
You just won £125,000. Fantastic! In old Anglo-Saxon mythology, Wayland was the blacksmith. There you are, that's what you've done. Good
Wow.
night's work then.
I'm not going to guess any more.
Oh, what will you do? What will you, what can you do with that?
I can change quite a lot of my life. I
For the
can
better?
pay debts. It's going to change everything.
That's fantastic. That is what I love doing about this show. That is, I mean, literally in about 15 minutes, that has completely changed your life
Yes.
for the better. Question number 13 is worth £250,000, £250,000. You have £125,000 at this moment. If you gave me a wrong answer here, you still have £32,000, which is what you said. You were absolutely delighted if you could get that far at the beginning of the show. But you would lose £93,000. Not good.
Not going to happen.
Take your time. Question number 13 is worth £250,000. Here it is. St. Augustine, the oldest city in the USA, is in which state? South Carolina, Virginia, New Hampshire, Florida.
I haven't got a clue, and I don't care. I'll take the money, Chris.
Funnily enough, I thought you might. Have you really not got a clue? You've
I
travelled a lot
really
of
haven't got
states.
a clue. It could be any of them.
Well, it will be one of them.
Well, they're all over the same side, which is why I'd have expected the oldest city to have been. If you'd give me ones on the west coast, I'd have maybe had a go at it.
Well, you could have a bit of a wibble-dibble. Go on. You only lose 93 grand if you're... Go on. Go on.
I'll be delighted to take the money.
I thought you might. Right, have a look. This is what you've done, though. You can take it now as well. Chris Ray leaves us with £125,000. Come on, then, just out of interest. It doesn't matter now. What would you have gone for?
I'd have gone for New Hampshire.
Would you? Why?
I've absolutely no idea. I was just slightly drawn to it.
Completely and utterly wrong. The right answer was D, Florida. But very good. £125,000. Give him a big hand.